I'm Ethan Owens from Fiasco Sports and SA Footballer Magazine. Today I'm joined by Trevor Quaini, chairman of the Flinders Park Footy Club in Division 3, and he is our feature legend of the week. So Trevor, tell me, how did you find yourself becoming the legend and the chairman of Flinders Park Footy Club?
Well, I'm not clear on the legend piece, but I started out at Flinders Park in 1970. Actually came straight out of high school and played at Flinders Park in the 70s, and I guess back in those days the club was evolving into what became a very successful era for the club. We ended up winning a couple of A1 premierships in a row in 76 and 77, and then moved into the SAFA competition and won those first two premierships there as well. So it was a very successful year for the club, and played my football all through that period through to about 82, 83. Once I finished my playing career, moved into football director's role, and for all those football directors out there, I know how tough it is. It's a very demanding role. And then moved into the president's role for a year. And then moved away from the club for a while. My son's played football out there since, and came back to the club and decided to get back on the board after a bit of coaxing from the president of the day to get back onto the board and chairman. So I've been in that role for about the last 6 years now. So it's like all roles on committees these days, very challenging, and as per usual, we're all time poor. Running clubs these days is a much more intense way of running clubs around governance and all those types of things, and getting volunteers to try and help support our activities around the club. So that's probably a bit brief history of where I've come from and what I've done with the club until this day.
So a very lengthy experience involved in both footy and in particular the club. What sort of changes have you noticed about the game in that time?
I think the game is definitely, there's a lot more thought put into what the coaches are doing around fitness, the fitness type areas, a lot more strategies. Our players now have got GPSs, so we have 6 GPSs that we run game day these days. So we track what our players' activities are. So I think from a technology perspective, there's a difference as far as what players are expecting. They want to know some of this detail, and a lot more fitness programs around weights and all those types of things. That's definitely increased as well. So a lot more focus on pre-seasons these days. We used to do them in our day, but I think they're a lot more intense these days. So from that perspective, it's definitely changed. The communication piece as well is different. Facebook, players have got their own Facebook page now, so there's a lot more interaction, and the communication done to players is done through Facebook as well. So a lot more communication is done with the players, and a lot more communication to the players about the activities around the club and the expectations from them too. I think that's where the major changes have come.
So you mentioned in your weekly wrap that you've got the netballers involved in your club now. How important is it to have multiple sports and have them contribute to the club?
That's a very good question, actually. We see getting our club more community focused as not only a challenge, but I think a driving force behind our sustainability and the longevity of the club. I think if you just rely purely and solely on football these days, I think you might be starting to get yourselves into a bit of, not trouble, but it's more difficult to run footy clubs. We need to raise funds to run clubs. We need and we need our community involved at the Flinders Park Football Club. So we've got this motto, this mantra now called One Club. So we see ourselves not only as a football club now, but as a more community-based club. And we have cricket there now with junior and senior cricket. We've got over 200 junior footballers out there now. So from, I guess we consider it from under 16s down as our junior program. So a very strong program in junior football. 2 under 18 sides this year, which is probably a bit unique for clubs like ourselves. So we want to have more of a community feel. As I say, we've got girls football started this year. We've got 7 netball teams. We want the ladies and the girls to feel part of this club, and we want them to feel comfortable to come to our club and feel part of this community. And we're getting a lot of good comments coming back now that people have joined the club and said this club's got a real good community feel to it, and that's really where we want to take it. We want to take it to be more of a community club, even though our flagship is our senior football.
So obviously no club can be successful without the help of some great sponsors. So who does sponsor the Flinders Park Footy Club and keep you guys growing?
Sure. Look, we've got some fantastic sponsors for us now. The ANZ have come on board in the last 2 years. So Andrew, Hodge and Jill They're the mobile lenders for our club through the ANZ. So if anyone wants a loan, Jill and Andrew can help any of our players or supporters or members with a house loan or a car loan. So they're very active in engaging with the members in the club. Fairmont Homes is another major sponsor for us, and every sponsor now wants some value back from us, and we've had quite a close relationship with Fairmont over the last few years, and have done some good business with them through the club. The Hotel Royal, another major sponsor of ours. They've been with us for many years, and actually that sponsorship's really starting to take off even stronger than it has been in the past. So we support our sponsors very well by making sure our players and sponsors get to the Hotel Royal, and we're getting some real rewards coming back from that as well. And Steadfast Brecknock Insurance is another one of our major sponsors that have come on the last couple of years. So we've got some really strong sponsors, and then we've got other sponsors like Oz Properties. Laz is becoming an integral part of our branding as well. So and Sally's and a few other sponsors like that. Yeah. So it's been our sponsorships are really starting to grow and deliver some really good results.
Sounds like Flinders Park are thriving at the moment. Thanks, Trevor. I'm Ethan Owens from Fiasco Sports and SA Footballer Magazine, and today I was joined by Trevor Quaini, chairman of the Flinders Park Footy Club in Division 3, and he was our feature legend of the week.